The House holding its first public hearing on UFOs in more than 50 years. The big question, whether the government will admit if it has already found evidence of alien technology. Here with me now is unidentified aerial phenomenon researcher and board member for the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies, Alejandro Rojas joins me. Welcome to the show. Number one. Number two, what are you hoping to see in these congressional hearings?
Well, the most boring part about it is going to be probably fairly wonky. You know, it's going to be the senators asking, you know, what's the holdup on getting all of this rolling, getting these investigations rolling, and then kind of saying, hey, not good enough, get something going. So that part might be kind of boring and not revelatory, but it's exciting for someone like me because it's pushing, you know, the DOD to actually get something done where we see more than UFO reports. We've been seeing UFO reports for decades now. What we want to see is some real research and some coalition or collating of the data from the different agencies, and also finding out what do they know in the first place.
And what do they have? You know, what have they physically, materially come in contact with, and what does it say about its origin? How certain are you that the government either has seen or has access or is in possession of something that was built somewhere far, far away?
I'm skeptical that they would have something like that personally. However, some of the individuals who have been part of the investigations that have happened, like the Pentagon program that was revealed by the Times in 2017, they claim that at least the water cooler talk around some of the scientists who work on these black projects says that they do have a recovered craft. Also, we've heard from people like Luis Elizondo, who ran that program, who says that they have recovered materials and they've researched those materials, and they believe those materials to be off-world.
Do you think the government has a plan, and should we have more access to what that plan is in terms of being visited by aliens from another galaxy?
They do have plans. Sometimes we run across, you know, contingency plans, so if we're attacked, stuff like that. As far as communication, that's hard to say. There are organizations like SETI, the SETI Institute. They do have protocols that they've worked out, ready to go should we be contacted. But I don't know that we have any indication that we'll be contacted by any of our visitors anytime soon.
Who do you believe here? There are skeptics who say all of the stuff that we have seen, including the Tic Tac video and gimbal, that it's easily explainable by other phenomena that has not been properly investigated. And then you have people who have either seen something and it has made them believers, including some of our government military pilots. And, you know, people who say that it is mathematically impossible that we're alone in the universe. Who do you believe?
I believe the data, really. I believe the science. So it's much more slow and conservative.
So you believe Anthony Fauci? But just kidding.
He hasn't researched UAPs as far as I'm aware of. Yeah, but I would be interested to know where he would come down on the topic. But, you know, you do have a lot of very compelling witnesses that have come forward. You do have some videos that have come forward. And, you know, the question is still out there. And one of the things we're asking for, where are these investigations? You say that these videos are showing us unidentified flying objects. How did you determine that to be the case? We have no reports about the science or investigative process that happened there. And that's what we really want to get at. And one of the things that we're asking that they cover in these hearings.
Do you think society can handle it?
Oh, by far. You know, the records show that, especially with the younger generations especially, they assume that UFOs are aliens and that we're being visited by aliens all the time. It's really only, not even so much the media, but it's kind of Washington is the only one who's not on board with that idea. And it's great for someone like me who's been interested in this topic to see them getting on board, because what that's done is kind of legitimize this topic. So now organizations like mine, we're flourishing. We're getting more and more very serious people, military.
Let's continue to have these conversations because they're fascinating, they're necessary, and we deserve to have them. Alejandro, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.